In what can only be described as based, Donald Trump was asked, would he rule out military or economic coercion for the U.S. to use in gaining control of the Panama Canal and Greenland? And Trump said no. But this is not me cheering for the idea that the U.S. is going to invade Panama or Greenland. It's Donald Trump roasting the reporters who keep trying to ask military and what would normally be classified or closed negotiation. They keep trying to get him to talk about what he's going to do for U.S. interests that require privacy. Let's put it like this. If the U.S. goes to Greenland to negotiate them joining as a territory or even a state, who knows, probably as a territory, Trump's going to have to make offers and go back and forth. And Denmark's already pissed saying Greenland's not for sale. So why would Trump publicly announce his plans? He's not going to say anything. He got asked a question about a preemptive strike on Iran, and it was hilarious. I don't know if I have it pulled up, but he's like, someone said, well, you talked about previously whether or not, you would launch a preemptive strike on Iranian nuclear facilities. And Trump says, I'm not answering your question. The reporter goes, it's a legitimate question. He goes, yeah, and only a stupid person would answer it. Based. Look, Trump should use the powers at his disposal to get favorable deals for the United States. We are the United States. We built these things. And I don't get, over the past 30 years, we gave it all away. Now, Greenland. How do we come to have Greenland a part of U.S. interest, like a part of the U.S. territorial structure? Through a good deal. The people of Greenland can be asked if they want it, we buy it. I'm telling you this right now. I don't know what Denmark's offering up to people of Greenland, but I'm pretty sure the U.S. can do better. And Greenland has got natural gas. It's got oil reserves that are untapped and could be developed. Plus, it's got military strategic importance. Now, maybe Denmark doesn't want to give up one of its territories. It's fine. The U.S. will apply economic pressure and just say, how about this? We foot too much of the bill for you in Europe, okay? How about we cut off all the benefits we are giving you? Then they're going to change their tune. If you want free stuff from the United States, we say no more. So here we go. Now, of course, the Daily Mail is saying Trump is not ruling out invading. I love that. It's like their lead story. Trump hints at invading the Panama Canal and Greenland, says he wants to rename the Gulf of Mexico. Well, we know the Gulf of Mexico story. It was a hilarious press conference. But Trump is not going to invade Greenland. That's so stupid. Right now, I think Don Jr. and Charlie Kirk may have gone there. I think I saw some reporting. They're going to Greenland to talk to people. Hey, the U.S. can offer up the people of Greenland awesome stuff. Now, of course, there's more to Greenland than just the people who live there. There's the sovereignty of the land. And that is currently under the dominion of Denmark. So the U.S. is going to have to negotiate. But of course, Denmark's saying, no way. Greenland belongs to the Greenlanders, says Danish PM as Donald Trump Jr. arrives. Greenland made it clear that it is not for sale. Greenland did? Oh, Danish Prime Minister did. You see, the people of Greenland have been cheering on Trump Jr. They're happy that we're showing interest because there's tremendous development that can happen in Greenland. Look at this. Is that really a photo of the Trump jet landing in Greenland? That's amazing. Probably a hard runway to land on all the ice. Trump Trump Jr. shows up. They go to the people of Greenland and say, how about this? And I'm for this. If Greenland becomes a territory of the United States, I am for investment in it. I am for investment into Alaska. What I'm not for is investment into Ukraine, which is not a part of this country, which gives us nothing. Not interested. Europe, NATO, all these people who aren't footing the bill. If Greenland comes under the umbrella of the United States as a territory, I'm totally for investing in it. I'm for giving money to the states. I'm not for overspending. I think we got to balance the budget. All of those things, secure our borders. But I like it. I like the idea that Greenland has vast resources and is ripe for development and has strategic value. So how about we go for it? Why not? So it's not Greenland saying no. It is Minister Mette Frederiksen on Tuesday saying there's been a lot saying Greenlandic Prime Minister Mute Egede has been very, very clear that there's a lot of support among the people of Greenland, that Greenland is not for sale and will not be in the future either. Well, that's funny because Greenland called for independence recently, like only a few days ago. Maybe because they want to entertain the idea that they should be allowed to negotiate when an offer arises. The Danish leader's remarks come after Trump suggested purchasing Greenland from Denmark last month, calling U.S. acquisition of the Arctic territory an absolute necessity. He also made the proposal in 2019 during his first term, which drew a rebuke from Frederiksen, and he posted a meme photo of a Trump tower in Greenland. Don Jr. landed in Greenland on Tuesday on what he called a private visit, but his entourage included firebrand conservative activist Charlie Kirk, there it is, and the elder Trump's personnel director, Sergio Gore. Trump Sr. described them as his reps. Don Jr. and my reps landing in Greenland. The reception has been great. They in the free world need safety, security, strength, and peace. This is a deal that must happen. MAGA, make Greenland great again. Oh, yeah. Make MGGA, MGGA. Trump wrote in a Tuesday post on his social media platform, 5 years after slapping down Trump's Arctic aspirations, Frederiksen reiterated once more that Greenland belongs to the Greenlanders. On one hand, I am pleased regarding the rise in American interest in Greenland, he said in an interview. But of course, it is important that it takes place in a way where it's the Greenlanders' decision what their future holds. Sounds to me like Greenland may want to hop on board. Greenland, the world's largest island with a population of around 60,000, was a Danish colony until it became self-ruling with its own parliament in 1979. It remains a territory of Denmark, with Copenhagen exercising control over its foreign and defense policy. As global powers seek to expand their reach and footprint in the Arctic, mineral-rich Greenland, which hosts a U.S. military base, is coveted for strategic value in security and trade. That's right, my friends. And so when asked, let me play this clip for you. I think it's actually hilarious.
President, thank you. Wanted to touch on
very hard to hear.
Fire that you mentioned, but so forth. Can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
So he says, can you assure that as you're trying to gain control of these territories, you're not going to use military or economic coercion?
No. And can you tell us a little bit about what your plan is? Are you going to negotiate a new treaty? Are you going to ask the Canadians to hold a vote? What is the strategy?
Yeah, I can't assure you. You're talking about Panama and Greenland. No, I can't assure you on either of those two. But I can say this. We need them for economic security. The Panama Canal was built for our military. I'm not going to commit to that now. It might be that you'll have to do something.
Whoa.
Look, the Panama Canal is vital to our country. It's being operated by China.
Yep.
China. And we gave the Panama Canal to Panama. We didn't give it to China. And they've abused it. They've abused that gift. It should have never been made, by the way. Giving the Panama Canal is why Jimmy Carter lost the election, in my opinion, more so maybe than the hostages. The hostages were a big deal. But if you remember, and nobody wants to talk about the Panama Canal now because, you know, it's inappropriate, I guess, but because it's a bad
He's not wrong.
Of the Carter legacy.
Bad deal.
He was a good man. Look, he was a good man. I knew him a little bit, and he was a very fine person, but that was a big mistake. Giving the Panama Canal to Panama was a very big mistake. We lost 38,000 people. It cost us the equivalent of $1 trillion, maybe more than that. Probably the most expensive, they say it was the most expensive structure, if we call it a structure, which I guess you can, ever built. And giving that away was a horrible thing. And I believe that's why Jimmy Carter lost the...
He does say you might have to do something. So it's fair to say that he is hinting at invading Panama and Greenland. Yeah, it's not going to happen. But of course, Trump has to say this because he's not going to give up his negotiating position. I would not be for that. There should be no invasion of Greenland or Panama. And I don't think it's going to happen because that's silly and ridiculous. But Donald Trump's going to say, listen, we built this. Jimmy Carter should not have given it up, and we want control of this structure, as he calls it. I think that's fair, and I think the U.S. is going to have to acquire it through economic means. There's going to have to be a trade deal. What does Panama get in exchange for U.S. control over the canal? And that canal gives us massive, massive international trade power. If you want to maintain this American system, if you want to avoid war, then you need strength, peace through strength. Greenland would be great. That one's going to be straightforward. Trump, I get why he's saying it. It's not going to happen. But to be fair, he did say you may have to do something. So I understand what Daily Mail wrote, hinting at the possibility of invading Greenland and Panama. Greenland's going to be straightforward. It's going to be a deal. Don Jr. is not flying over there with Charlie Kirk so that they can go up to these people and be like, do it or else the military takes it. No, they're going to be like, we want military base here. We want oil exploration. We can pay you. I recommend Landman. I love this show. It's a great show. That's why I keep citing it. And in the opening of the first episode, the cartels got Billy Bob tied up. And they're just basically, his name's Tommy in the show. And they're like, you're trespassing, blah, blah, blah. And then they threaten him. He says, look, we're going to pay you. We're going to stay out of your way. And they're like, you're going to pay us? It's like, yep. We're going to build roads. We're going to pay you money to use your land to drill for oil, and we're good. And the guy's like, basically makes a threat, and he's like, you don't want to make a threat. He's like, because this is oil we're talking about. The U.S. military is going to come on. He's like, you attack us, and hopefully you make it back to Mexico in time to see a drone blow up your house with your family in it. It's brutal. That's not going to happen. Nah. They're going to go to Greenland and they're going to say, you're going to get paid, baby. Because in the end, the cartel says, deal. We get paid. Now, there's a whole lot more to the story than that. But that's the gist. We're going to send in our reps. They're going to go to Greenland and they're going to negotiate a deal. And it's going to be a good deal for everybody. Same thing is true with Panama. They're going to go to Panama and they're going to say, we give so much money to all these countries. We have to get something in return. Now, the liberals are going to argue is that Trump strong-arming nations and causing problems. BS. The U.S. provides military aid and humanitarian aid to all of these countries. And what do we get in return? Nothing. So how about we say, we're going to give aid and you've got to give back. I'm totally fine with international trade. I'm not okay with the U.S. giving money away while our own people suffer. But if we're buying something, that's totally different. We'll see how it plays out, though. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it's a good thing that the U.S. is going to get involved in strong arm or invade or any of that stuff. That I would not be for, but we'll see. Smash that like button, my friends. Share the show with everyone you know. Become a member over at timcast.com. We got another segment coming up for you in a little bit, and we'll see you all then.